Okay. Thank you, James. I've got some questions for you.
Cool.
First question. You've got the slogan, hydrate to perform.
Yep.
And my question is, you talk about being promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
And you use the word perform.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Is the focus on performance, or is it on a healthy lifestyle?
Well, to be honest, I say performance, I say that sort of reflects a healthy lifestyle. Because if you think about it, you know, if you think of any sports drink, for example, that's not usually water, but anything with electrolytes, it helps you perform better, and at the same time, that is healthy living, really, you know. So I think it's just focused on both overall. I think it just comes under one thing, sort of performance and healthy living.
Okay. How will you appeal to any young people who don't like hip hop?
Any people who don't?
Yeah. So you've got the hip hop track, and you say
for my jingle.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, well, I think the whole advertising campaign as a whole, I think it's effective enough to target young people that even if they don't really like hip hop, they're still going to be attracted based on what they see throughout the rest of the campaign. So even if they don't like the music, they might see the slogan, they might see the advertising methods used, they might see anything, and it will still draw them to Vessi, even if there's one minor setback from not liking hip hop, you know.
Okay. I think you know this question's coming. It's about diversity. So how are you focusing, or how are you targeting the broad range of our diverse society with your campaign?
Well, so for my 3 models that I used, so 2 were white. Well, yeah, one's white British, one's Polish, and one's from the Caribbean originally. So I've chose like an audience that I've chose for it to reflect the audience based on, I didn't just choose white British people. However, what I could have done is I could have used female models perhaps, because to target both genders, not just boys. But yeah, I've used a diverse audience overall.
Okay. I've got a question around your choice of long shots, both for your both for your main advert, your print advert, and also for your AV advert. And the question is about connection with the audience. It's about how can you get an emotional connection with your audience? How could you do that, do you think? Because at the moment, we, as an audience, my feeling is that we're very distant from them.
Wait, so can you say that again?
Yeah, so the question is quite a complex one, because when I look at the campaign at the moment, it feels like you're keeping the audience at a distance.
Right.
Whereas we know that our audience really needs some sort of emotional connection with the product and with the characters within your campaign to try to be successful. Okay, so what could you do? What will you do to bring that emotional connection with the product?
I suppose I could have made it more relatable to young people in certain ways, if that's what you mean. Like, for example, I tried to make it as relatable as possible and connect with the audience that's why I chose, out of all sporting activities, I chose playing football, because that's something most young people like doing, especially in summer. But yeah, I've tried to be as close with the audience as I possibly could.
And what about if you, putting ideas into your head, what about if you had a few more close-ups with the product, with the, showing how your characters feel after drinking it or whilst they're drinking it,
I could have probably used more, just different shot types, but at the same time I wanted to keep it simple. Like throughout my whole campaign, I've kept things effective, but I've kept them plain and simple at the same time, because I feel like with young people, they don't like to beat around the bush as much as the older generation. They just kind of want to see things how it is, sort of. And I think I just tried to do that throughout my whole campaign, really.
Lovely. Thank you very much, James.
Cool, is that it?
That is it. Right, so this to